Urban legends. We all know them, grew up with them.
Creepy clown sightings are happening across the country, and it's no laughing matter. There are concerns that the trend will grow as Halloween approaches. Here's Jamie Yukas.
Police in Waterbury, Connecticut have arrested a man after trick-or-treaters reported finding razor blades in their candy bag.
But there are some urban legends that people just take too far.
For anyone who thinks this is funny, police say there is at least one deadly incident linked to a clown hoax. In Reading, Pennsylvania, a 16-year-old was stabbed to death in a dispute, and he was wearing a clown mask. Rena, a 29-year-old now faces first-degree murder charges in that case.
I can see why parents are concerned. Jamie, thank you.
Alright, so let's start with this. The Bunnyman. It's a legend that is primarily associated with Fairfax County, Virginia. It tells the story of a man dressed in a bunny costume who terrorizes people with an axe. The legend is said to have its roots in the 1900s. One version of the story claims that an insane asylum in Clifton, Virginia was shut down and had to move the inmates that were left. Now, during this transfer of inmates to a new facility, this bus lost control, swerved, and crashed on the side of the road. And it's this crash that allowed the inmates to escape. Most of the inmates ended up recaptured or died, but two were still out there: Marcus Walster and Douglas Griffin. In this version of the tale, a body was found surrounded by half-eaten rabbits hanging from the overpass, with a note on the floor saying that they will never be able to find him. Douglas J. Griffin was the name of the escaped inmate and was nicknamed Bunnyman due to the costume that he wore. Marcus Walster was said to be later killed by a passing train, and his soul is now left there to haunt it forever. The Bunnyman legend involves a bridge in Clifton, known as the Bunnyman Bridge. It is said that people who visit the bridge late at night, especially around Halloween, might encounter the Bunnyman, who wields an axe and threatens those who approach. What makes this urban legend such a worry is some real-life related events that links to the existence of the Bunnyman. A research paper from 1973 by Patricia Johnson called The Bunnyman, where after multiple interviews about the legend, a story in a local paper from the 1970s stated a man in a bunny suit yelled at a couple waving a hatchet. He then threw the hatchet through the actual window of the vehicle. Here's the actual hatchet from the first Bunnyman attack. This took place a few more times throughout the country. Now, I could care less if it's a legend or not, but once you start having people become copycats, that's when it forces you to keep your guard up. And don't think the Bunnyman is the only legend that has links to real life cases. The Hookman legend is an American classic that was tied to the Texarkana Moonlight murders and Lover's Lane murders, real-life crimes that occurred in the mid-20th century. These were cases in which young couples were attacked or killed while parked in secluded areas. Killing couples seems to be a common trope when it comes to movie killers. And I never noticed until recently, but damn near all of them are based off of real life killers.
one moment. I probably put some oil on it, possibly. That's all. Soften it up.
Prime example would be like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre's Leatherface, who was based off of the real-life serial killer known as Ed Gein, who was found when police entered his Plainfield, Wisconsin home in November of 1957, following the disappearance of a local woman, and they stated that they walked straight into a house of horrors. Not only did they find the woman they were looking for, dead, decapitated, and hung from her ankles, but they also found a number of shocking, grisly objects crafted by Ed Gein. Skulls, human organs, and gruesome pieces of furniture like lampshades made of human faces and chairs upholstered with human skin. Gein's goal, as he later explained to the police, was to craft a skin suit to quasi-resurrect his dead mother, with whom he had been obsessed with for years. This is why we're paranoid now. And in the spirit of Halloween, being chased by someone in a mask is not the only thing we have to worry about.
Hospital in Ohio is offering to x-ray any candy from trick-or-treating after police say a sewing needle was found in a Kit Kat. Police say a child noticed the needle and was not hurt. The department says there were actually 2 candy tampering incidents, but they didn't go into detail on the other one. Police are calling it truly disturbing and are urging parents to double-check their children's.
Many of us grew up hearing stories from people we know about being careful when it comes to Halloween.
Police in Waterbury, Connecticut have arrested a man after trick-or-treaters reported finding razor blades in their candy bags. 37-year-old Jason Raz is facing several charges. Police say children discovered razor blades in their candy containers. Raz told police the blades accidentally spilled into the candy bowls he used to hand out the treats.
To think that urban legends about tainted candies being handed down to children, razor blades, sewing needles, drugs, even poison have been rumored to be inside candy during Halloween.
From Poughkeepsie mother, Joanne Turner, posting this picture on Facebook showing a pink pill inside her daughter's Halloween candy. She's warning all parents who took their kids trick-or-treating at the Galleria Mall to check their candy. And it's not just in New York. Police in Pennsylvania say someone's putting needles inside candy. TV 1055's Rahel Solomon has more on the dangers.
We all checked our Twix and our Skittles and our sneakers, but we didn't find any in the sneakers. We only found them in the Twix.
For little Mikael, Luna, the day after Halloween this year was spent at the Kennett Square Police Department. Instead of eating his candy, he's trying to help police understand why his Twix reportedly had a needle in it.
It's very disturbing. It's very disturbing.
How can anybody do anything like that? That's just unbelievable.
Police say around midnight they received a report of sewing-like needles in 5 Twix bars, apparently from Mikael and some of his other friends. Mikael says he first saw a post on Facebook about a needle in a Snickers bar, so he and his friends, all ages 7 to 12, checked theirs and made the apparent discovery.
There were 4 kids involved. They're not all related, 2 separate families, but they all went trick-or-treating together in the Stending Hills area.
Police tell Eyewitness News they investigate all complaints as legitimate until proven otherwise, but the report was enough to prompt police to send out alerts early Sunday morning, warning neighbors.
They just said that you should check the candy again.
By Sunday afternoon, another child came forward to report he found a needle in his Snickers bar. Police say they do not think that 12-year-old went trick-or-treating with Mikael and the others.
What did you think when you saw that?
We were all nervous when we called the police because we didn't know what was going to happen. Then we all came to the house. Everybody checked their candy.
And tonight, that's the message police are stressing to parents. Check your child's candy and maybe Check it again.
And police say while they don't think the two groups went trick-or-treating together, they're looking into whether they know one another. They also say luckily none of this candy was ingested, so no one was hurt. But they say if this was legitimate, the person responsible likely faces at least reckless endangerment charges. Reporting in Kennett Square, Rahel Solomon, TV 1055.
And last but not least, the killer clowns.
No matter where you come from, no matter your color, your religion, your creed, no matter who you're voting for, we can all agree on one thing. Fuck that!
The Killer Clown's urban legend is a contemporary and fictional concept that gained widespread attention, particularly through social media and the news. It involves individuals dressed as creepy or sinister clowns who allegedly engage in criminal behavior.
Creepy clown sightings are happening across the country, and it's no laughing matter. There are concerns that the trend will grow as Halloween approaches. Here's Jamie Yukas.
It's a trend spooking the nation, creepy clown sightings. Now they're threatening school districts. Police and Homeland Security are investigating scary Instagram posts in Philadelphia. The posts from over the weekend all use the word clown. Some even talk about blowing up schools. The unusual reports started surfacing back in August in Greenville, South Carolina.
Right there at that tree back there.
Children told police that clowns tried luring them into woods by offering money. Since then, sightings keep increasing. On New York's Long Island, social media threats from anonymous clown accounts kept elementary children inside during recess.
Second clown, I guess he was kneeling.
Parent Kalik Owens.
Nobody knows how to defend against it because we don't know if it's a prank or if they're really trying to harm people.
Now police are using social media to track down the costumed offenders. In LaGrange, Georgia, police posted about issuing warrants for 4 people on charges of making terroristic threats and disrupting public schools. In Kentucky, this young man was arrested for trying to scare people in a ditch. Police have arrested at least 12 people across the United States for participating in menacing stunts or making false reports. In Houston, Texas, this Instagram post shows clowns threatening to kidnap students or kill teachers. Parent Rochelle Hudson.
This would make me drive my daughter to and from school.
For anyone who thinks this is funny, police say there is at least one deadly incident linked to a clown hoax. In Reading, Pennsylvania, a 16-year-old was stabbed to death in a dispute, and he was wearing a clown mask. Rena, a 29-year-old now faces first-degree murder charges in that case.
I can see why parents are concerned. Jamie, thank you.
While this is an urban legend, there have been some real-life events and incidences that contributed to the fear and notoriety associated with this legend. In 2016, there was a significant wave of reported clown sightings in various parts of the United States, and it hasn't stopped. Some of these reports claim that clowns were lurking near schools, parks, and wooded areas, which fueled public concerns. The 2016 clown sightings coincided with the release of the movie adaptation of Stephen King's It, in which Pennywise the Dancing Clown is a central character. This contributed to the fear of clowns, as Pennywise is portrayed as a malevolent entity throughout the entire story. John Wayne Gacy is one of the first real-life examples that come to mind. Since his arrest in December of 1978, the Chicago slayer of at least 33 boys and young men has continually sickened and fascinated the public, both with the scope and the sadism of his crimes, as well as his proclivity for dressing up as a circus-style funny man called Pogo the Clown. So, this is not the year to let your life be taken away by some fool in a costume. Whether it's from a man with a hook, a giant bunny-headed man with bloodstains on his mask, and especially killer clowns. I don't care if it's all in good fun and entertainment. These are urban legends and myths that take place in actual reality. People have always been known to take things too far. Thank you for tuning in for this long. Be aware of your surroundings, stay informed, and be safe, everyone.